So hi guys, in this video I'm going to share my knowledge or understanding about the Marpol Convention. So what is Marpol Convention? Marpol Convention is the international convention for the prevention of pollution from ships, or Marpol, is the main idea of international convention for prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ships from operations and from accidental causes. So for me, Marpol is another important convention that safeguards the marine environment against ship pollution. So for me, my understanding in this convention is this regulation or convention implemented to regulates all the factors that make pollution in the environment. So, so it is must that we need to take care of our environment, because what will happen if the chemicals will scattered in the sea by ships pollution or by an accident from collisions. So there are so many sea creatures that will be affected, and also human being will also be affected by that system. So that is why this convention is implemented or established to protect our marine environment. So the history of the Marpol. So the Marpol Convention was adopted on November 2, 1972 at 1198. So the Protocol of 1978 was adopted in response to a spate of tanker accident in 1976 to 1977. So as the Marpol 1973 convention had not yet into force, the 1978 Marpol Convention Protocol absorbed the parent convention. So that is why the Marpol Convention has established because of those tanker accidents. And this convention also includes regulations and preventing and minimizing pollution from ship, both accidental pollution and that from routine operations, and it currently includes 6 annexes. So special areas with strict controls of operational discharge are included in most annexes. So there are 6 annexes. So the first one is the Annex 1, Regulation for the Prevention of Pollution by Oil. So it is entered into force on October 2, 1983. So it links to prevent of pollution by area of operational measures as well as from accidents. So that is why these regulations or annex established to prevent or cure the pollution by oil causes of accidents and from operational discharge of the oil from tanker ship. And also this annex, it made mandatory to fit for new oil tanker to fit double hulls, and brought in place is scheduled for existing tankers to fit double hulls. So why we need to put double hulls in the tanker? So it is simply means to secure our cargoes and not to be easily destroyed or ruined in terms of an accidents or some collisions, and also from the natural accident or what we call grounding. So that is what Annex 1 is all about, is pollution by oil. It's a prevention of pollution by oil. So the second one is the Annex 2. So the Annex 2 regulations is for the control of pollution by noxious liquids. So noxious liquid substances in bulk. So it is entered into force on October 2, 1983. So details the discharge criteria and measures for the control of pollution by noxious liquid. So it talks about the prevention of pollution by noxious liquids, carrying noxious liquids. So in Annex 2, the Annex 2 is the regulation for the control of pollution by noxious liquids, substances, and bulk. So it is entered into force on October 2, 1983. So it details the discharge criteria and measures for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances. So it is annex is for preventing or securing that there's no sense of pollution by noxious liquids, and some 250 substances were evaluated and included in the list appended to the convention. The least discharge at then residues is allowed only to reception facilities and until certain concentration and conditions, or which vary with the category of substance, are complied with in any case of discharge. So, discharge of residues containing noxious substances is permitted within 12 miles of the nearest man. So, that is what the means of Annex 2. It's all about the prevention of pollution by noxious liquids and proper way of discharging it. So the third one is the Annex 3, prevention pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form. So it is entered into force on July 1, 1992. So it contains general requirements for the issuing of detailed standards on packing, marketing, labeling, documentations, and for stowage and quantity limitations, exceptions, and notification. For the purpose of this annex is the harmful substances are those substances which are identified as marine pollutants in the International Maritime Dangerous Goods, or the IMDG code. So, or which meet the criteria in the appendix of Annex 3. So, what are the examples of harmful substances? Are those paints, glues, and petroleum, so and etc. And that can pollute the marine environment. That is why it is put to a high standard of in terms of packing, marking, labeling, and documentations, stowage, and quantity limitations. Because harmful substances are very or one of the cause that pollutes the environment when it is scattered in the ocean. So that is what the means of Annex 3, prevention of pollution by harmful substances carried by sea in package form. And so the next one, the Annex 4, is prevention of pollution by sewage from ships. So it is entered into force on September 27, 2003. And also this annex contains requirements to control pollution of the sea by sewage. So the discharge of sewage into the sea is prohibited. So, except when the ship was an an approved sewage treatment plant, or when the ship is discharging committed and disinfected sewage using an approved system at a distance of more than 3 nautical miles from the nearest land. So sewage which is not comminuted or disinfected has to be discharged at a distance of 12 nautical miles from the nearest land. And so in this annex it says that sewage can also be one of the cause of pollution in the marine environment. So that is why it is must that we need to follow the proper procedure of discharging the sewage, so to avoid the pollution. And so the fifth one, which is prevention of pollution by garbage from ships. So it is entered into force on December 31, 1998. So deals with different types of garbage, and it specifies the distances from the land and the manner in which they may be discharged or disposed. At the most important features of the annex is the complete ban imposed on the disposal into the sea of all form of plastics. So in this Annex 5, it prohibits the disposing or discharging the garbage into the sea to also prevent pollutions from garbage. So for us as a people, we need to take care also our environment or the marine environment be healthy always. So that is why we need to put our garbage into the proper way of manner to disposal of our garbage. So we need to put it where it is supposed to be. And so the last one, the last but not the least, is the Annex 6, prevention of air pollutions from ships. So it is entered into force on May 19, 2005. So sets limits on sulfur oxides, or the SOx, and nitrogen oxide, or the NOx. So emissions from ships exhaust, and prohibit deliberate emissions of ozone depleting substances. Designated emissions to control set more stringent standards for SOx or NOx, or sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter. So, chapter adopted in 2011 cover mandatory technical and operational energy efficiency measures aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions from ships. As we can see, nowadays there are lots of sources of air pollutions that deflecting our ozone. So, such as from the factories, cars, and mining, burning plastics, and all forms that make our air be polluted. So the fifth one, the Annex 5, is prevention of pollution by garbage from ships. So it is entered into force on December 31, 1998. So it deals with the different types of garbage and specifies the distances from the land and the manner in which they may be disposed of. The most important features of the annex is complete ban imposed to disposal of into the sea of all form of plastics. So it is very important also to put our garbage into the proper way, or where it may be disposed, to avoid scattering of plastics and etc., or of all forms of garbage that are pollutants, so that we can we can avoid pollution into the marine environment. That would be all in this video. Thank you.